Happy Thursday, everybody. We are on day 8 of our Learning at Home. And today you are supposed to read 30 minutes to yourself, to someone else, to a stuffed animal, to a pet, whatever you want to read for 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and start with our daily reading ready for today. This is week 3, Wednesday. Yes, I know we're doing it on a Thursday, but that's okay. Today we are going to read Rat, Rat, Big Fat Rat. Yuck, I don't think I'm going to like this one very much. So the first thing that we need to do for our high five reading strategy is underline our title. And the next thing we need to do is to scan the text. So I see a photo over here, no caption. I don't see any underlined keywords. I don't see any italicized words or any words in that have numbers beside them. So I'm going to go ahead and preview my questions. One reason rats are good pets is that so this is asking me a why question. Why are rats good pets? Okay, so probably I'm going to need to go back and prove it and look in the story because they're probably going to give me a reason for that. Read the sentence from paragraph 2. Like dogs, pet rats can recognize their names and respond when called. This sentence helps the reader know that rats are, so I need to make an inference. I need to infer about what this is telling me. Remember that to infer means to use what you've read and what you know to create a good educated guess. And then at the bottom it says according to the selection, so that means use text evidence. Why are rats not given the respect they deserve? Okay, so that would be a cause and effect question. Why? And I'm going to go ahead and read the passage now. It says the first thing you would do if you saw a rat is probably shriek in terror. Yep. But there are many interesting things you may not know about this large mouse-like rodent. Rats are awesome creatures that are actually very intelligent. They have excellent memories and can remember how to get from place to place with no problem. Many people even have rats as pets. Of course, you would want to get a pet rat from a pet store to make sure it was disease-free and in good health. Like dogs, pet rats can recognize their names and respond when called. They are very social creatures and enjoy playing and being held. Many people train their rats to do tricks. So that's about how they would make good pets. Sometimes I like to write a little note out beside so I can remember where to find something because when I have a lot of information, especially in a nonfiction text like this, sometimes when I go back, I kind of get confused on where something was located. So if I just make a quick little note, then that kind of helps me go back and find what I'm looking for. Paragraph 3 says, rats eat almost anything. So they are easy to feed. They consume things like cheese, seeds, fruit, vegetables, and other things you probably have right in your kitchen cabinets. So that part's about food. Usually rats are not given the respect they deserve. Oh, I'm recognizing this for one of my questions. I'm just going to put a star there so I remember to go back and look there. So here's our answer. Because people are afraid of them and think they are nasty, disease-carrying creatures. Actually, the exact opposite is true when they are trained and taken care of as family pets. So the next time you are looking for a good pet, consider a rat. You won't regret it. I mean, I don't feel like this convinced me to get a rat. I feel like it was well written and maybe it convinced somebody to get a rat, but I just do not like mice of any kind. Okay, so question 1 says, one reason rats are good pets is that so I need to make sure that I can prove it, something that's true. They can learn how to feed the dog. It definitely did not say that in the story. They enjoy eating vegetables. Does that make them a good pet? I mean, like, my cousin enjoys eating vegetables. Would that make him a good pet? No. So that is true, but does it prove that they would be a good pet? That's where these kind of questions are going to try to trick you at. They want you to think, oh, gosh, that is true. They do eat vegetables, but that is not why they make a good pet. They carry dangerous diseases. I don't think that would make a good pet for anything. No. Enjoy being held and loved. Boom, right here. They enjoy playing and being held. Many people train their rats to do tricks. So this whole part was talking about why they would make good pets. And that is where it talked about that they enjoy playing and being held. So that's where I'm going to find question number 1. And that is true. You would generally want your pet to enjoy being held and loved. Otherwise, what's the fun in that? Unless you have like a fish. Fish are fun and you really can't hold and love on them. Read this sentence from paragraph 2. Like dogs, pet rats can recognize their names and respond when called. This sentence helps the reader know that rats are, okay, so if they can recognize their names and they respond when called, does that mean that they are patient? Like they'll wait for you? No. That they're curious, they want to know about different things, like they like to get into things and see what it is? No. They're clever or smart? Maybe. They're disgusting. Well, I think that, but that's not because they recognize their names and respond when called. So your right answer is C. And your last question says, according to the selection, why are rats not given the respect they deserve? If we look back up where we put that star, because we remembered where we were going to go back and look, the way we need to write this, remember when we're answering a question like this, we need to make sure we repeat back the question in the answer. So rats are not given the respect they deserve because, you notice I just pulled that question back into my answer. Rats are not, messed up there, given the respect they deserve because, okay, now is the time where I can go back and start pulling from the story. People are afraid of them and think they are nasty, disease-carrying creatures. People are afraid of them and think they're nasty. That's what I'm going to write. You can probably hear Zoe chewing on her bone in the background. Sorry, trying to keep her entertained. All right, so there's our daily reading ready. Almost forgot to put my name at the top. Avery would have been mad at me. All right, so step 1 is done. Now we gotta look at writing. All right, so for writing today, we've got some cursive. I'm not gonna do this whole page on the video. I don't wanna use up your time for that, but I just do wanna remind you of some things for your cursive page. Make sure that you are keeping your cursive around the same size as these. What I mean by that is if this tail goes all the way up, bring it all the way up. And if this G drops down like this, make sure you drop your G down like that. Okay? You can't have a capital C if you're not supposed to have a capital C. Can't have too many humps in your M if you're only supposed to have 2. So make sure that you're paying attention and doing that really carefully when you're going through. Take your time. And remember, cursive is about moving your fingers and your wrist. You shouldn't be having to move your entire hand the whole time you're writing in cursive. Go nice and slow so that you can make sure you're getting everything that it wants you to get. And also remember, you should be doing this in pencil. I know I'm not, but that's because the pen usually shows up better for you guys. Do it in pencil. That way, if you mess up, you can go fix it. There is no shame in that. Be careful. You see how my eyes are kind of going up off of the line like this? Try not to do that. If I were writing in pencil, I probably should have gone back and fixed those so that they come all the way down to the bottom line. So you see, even when you've been doing cursive for a long time, you still make mistakes sometimes when you're trying to do it exactly right. So make sure that you're taking the time to do that. If you make a mistake, you go fix it. There is nothing wrong with that. And then when you get down here to your bottom, make sure that you do leave the space like they have in between. That's like a pencil space. You guys know how to space words when you're doing print. Make sure you're doing that when you're doing these too. Don't forget your commas. And then your joke says, what room has no walls, no windows, no ceiling, no floor, and no door? A mushroom, ha ha ha. And then you've got your bonus chuckle over here. What stays in the corner but goes all around the world? A stamp. So I told my dad this mushroom joke the other day. He did not guess it. He usually loves corny stuff, but I think it made him mad that he didn't know the answer to this one. So that was actually a pretty good joke. Okay, let's see. For PE, you need to choose one more thing from your drop everything and move board. So today I am going to, oh, this is going to be an easy one. I'm excited for this one. Lie on your back and take 10 deep breaths. Watch your belly rise and fall. That's going to feel really nice later. That's a good one to get to relieve yourself of some stress. Okay, let's see. Next thing is math, Education Galaxy for 20 minutes. Remember, that's your purple My Study Plan tab, any part of math that you'd like to do. Complete 2 squares in your choice board if you haven't already. If you've already done your 2 squares for this week, you're good to go and you can move that to the side. And of course, practice addition, multiplication, and subtraction cards this week. And let's see, science. Create a homemade rain gauge using the instructions in your packet. Or there's a YouTube video titled How to Make a Rain Gauge. So that's this page right here. And I have actually already posted a video of my rain gauge. So go ahead and look on the website for that. And I think I put that underneath the Just for Fun tab. And so you'll be able to see, I didn't really have a 2-liter bottle like this, so I used a clear cup. So go ahead and you can watch that video, or you can use these instructions, or you can find a YouTube video. I think there's a link titled, or I think you have to search it on YouTube, How to Make a Rain Gauge. There's a lot of different ways you can make one, but this week has been a pretty good week for that with the rain we've been having. And I think we're supposed to have a little more rain tonight and this weekend. So you can go ahead and get that done, and that way you can go ahead and collect some rain. That'll be good. For social studies today, oh, just kidding. I almost forgot to fill in our weather page. So today it says that it's going to be, a high of, looking on the wrong part, a low of 54 and a high of 70. Low of 54 degrees, high of 70. Cloud coverage is partial clouds with a little bit of partial sun. The humidity for today is 66 degrees. The chance of rain is 30%. And the wind direction is south-southeast at 14 miles per hour. Okay, now we can go on to social studies. I tried to jump ahead too quickly there. Okay, for social studies today, it says create your own business. So I'm going to go ahead and put my name at the top. And today's date, which is April 2nd, 2020. It says businesses are the bedrock of our communities. Businesses produce and sell goods and services that improve everyone's lives and strengthen communities. Color and illustrate the building below. Answer the following questions as you plan out your future business. So it says write your business's name above. So let me get my markers out here. All right, we're gonna go with this dark green color. So my business is gonna be called Zozo & Co. Draw what you are selling in the window above. Okay, so in this window right here, I've got to draw what I am selling. See if you can kind of try to guess what I'm selling. Based on the name Zozo. Any guesses yet? It's not pizza. I'll tell you that. It kind of looks like pizza right now. They are doggy bandanas. So what are your ideas for a business? My business idea is to sell cute dog bandanas at a reasonable price, because a lot of the times whenever I first got Zoe and I was trying to buy dog bandanas, they were so expensive, and it's just a triangle or a square depending on what kind you get of fabric, and I just thought that was so outrageous to be paying $30 for a dog bandana. I mean, that's crazy. So I actually got fabric and started making my own bandanas for Zoe, and they turned out just as cute, some of them even cuter, for a fraction of the price. So what tools and materials will you need to get started? So I will need fabric, thread, tags, sewing machine, snaps, because I like to make Zoe's where they snap shut, because she always tends to get the ones that have like the knot on them. She tends to get those off pretty quickly. And snap fasteners. I don't actually know what those are called. I think they're actually pliers or something, but they're the things where like you take the material and you put the snaps on, you take the pliers and it squeezes them and puts them together on there. What will you sell and produce? Dog bandanas. Who will work with you? My mom and grandma. My grandma is such a great seamstress, and my mom is basically my secretary already now, so I definitely need both of them. And when will you do your work? Well, it depends on if I'm teaching or not. I'm gonna put flexible hours because I'm not actually sure on that one. I'll have to come back to that question once I figure out the logistics. It says color and illustrate the building below. Answer the following questions as you plan out your future business. So there is my business. That's what I'm going to do. That was kind of a fun little activity. I'll color mine before I post a picture of mine later. That way you can see the finished product. But yeah, so that's your social studies assignment. And your music assignment for today from Miss Morris is to draw a music staff. It says don't forget 5 lines and 4 spaces. So I'm going to use this index card because I'm not very good at drawing lines in a very straight way. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Even with the lines, it still wasn't that straight. Okay, now if I can remember, okay, I think I remember how to draw one of these without having to look it up. Yay! Turns out I do. All right, so there's my music staff. 5 lines, 4 spaces. And so I would have B in the middle, A, G, F, E, and then I'd go up C, D, E, and F. There we go. So there's my music staff. And then today for your language acquisition, you're supposed to describe to a family member what your classroom looks like. Be sure to use lots of adjectives and prepositions when describing. And it says, remember, good authors use language that helps their readers picture the setting. So remember, adjectives are your describing words, like colorful or cozy or things like that. And your prepositions are going to be where you're telling someone where something is. So like if we have decorations everywhere, or if we have a banner above the whiteboard, things like that. And then, of course, you can get on Imagine Learning if you'd like to for some more language acquisition practice. And that about covers it for today. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.